Hey, all right, I'm going to take us through, hopefully start to finish pretty much on a promotional products uh, order. So we've already gone through Sage. Hopefully that's going great and you're using the projects. If I look at the projects, I see we got some stuff in there. So you guys are using this, which is great to keep track. So we're now going to do a new order. We're going to basically, as I mentioned before, we're going to use Sage clearly to find the items and to kind of keep track of the items. But we have to invoice and do everything else through Shopworks or on-site. So including placing the order with the vendors. I know it's very easy to do it through Sage, but we need to do it through Shopworks for a number of reasons. But I'll show you here. It's almost just as easy. So let's assume we've got this item here. Let's say a customer wants two different items. So let's say they want this one. Found it. I'm going to click Add to Project, create a new project, select. Let's Waldorf coffee. Make up something, and so it's also going to want the client, and so. Obviously, for the first time you do a client within Sage, you need to add them. You don't need to add all the info. I'm just going to click New and Waldorf Coffee. They just need to be in there, and I'm going to put this to save. That's all you need to do to create, and then done. All right, and then for the project name, hopefully customers are coming back to us, so we're not going to just have their name in the project name as well, because that'll get redundant. At a minimum, you just put 3/25, the date, whatever. Just put something there so it makes sense when we look at it. All right, so we create the project really quick, and so now we have a project. So and if we click on the products tab of the project, it shows us what we just added. Now we're going to leave this open because they want another item as well. So let's say they want this item, coffee press. Now since that project is still open, I can click that and it'll show on the list. And then you just click, select, and now it's added that item to the products page or tab of this project. All right, so now let me bring this up. Let's start by copying that, and I'm going to move this over to my other screen. So let's say you've created a new order. Obviously, you chose ASI promotional products as the order type. I'm just going to use this test one here that I use over and over. We're going to skip over to line items, add a single. All right, and so it brings this up, and this is pretty much exactly what you're looking at in Sage. Let's say they want 30 of them. We're going to check that, and then we're going to go down here and change the actual quantity to 30. And then, yes, we're going to charge them the setup at full price. So that's there. Everything else is good to go. It's automatically selected to create a new vendor. It should not duplicate. Although I would assume if, for ones that we brought over from BizWiz or last software, if it's not spelled correctly or if something's off, it might duplicate it, but it should not be it should not affect us. So we're going to hit create line items, continue. Now at this point, there's more than one place to do this, but this is probably the best, so it shows up and the customer can see it fine, see it on their invoice. This is just a stainless steel, so there's no color options, but I'm just going to do black imprint. And so it's created these two line items, which is perfect. Now the other thing we want to do, because we're going to charge the customer up front, is the shipping. So let me just bring this back over here. What's going on? I know I showed this to you guys before. Doesn't always work that great. if the vendor doesn't have these loaded in properly. It's the same thing with ASI. Let's see, what did I say? I don't remember. Let's say it was 100 and get rates. And yeah, they left this out. So let's assume we did this and it came through and it was, I don't know, 120 bucks. So let's go ahead and hit add single item. Now, if you don't remember, you can always hit grid find, miscellaneous items, and shipping. I gotta change that. It shouldn't say miscellaneous shipping charge. And then change this. Always, even if it's only one item on an ASI order, get in the habit of doing this. So shipping for press, and of course it's going to go to manual. Let's say it was 122, and of course the quantity is 1. So we've got that there. Now we want the other item. So I'm going to go back to Sage on my other screen and get that SPC number. Copy it, come back over here, add single. All right, let's say they want 150 of these. So I'm going to do that. I'll say 150. But let's say they want 2 colors. So this price includes 1 color, 1 side, 1 location. Let's say it's a 2-color design. So it's asking additional colors. So we're going to say 1 additional color. We do that. It changed that price now. It brought it up to 4. It automatically threw in the additional setup of 28. We still need to select our original setup. So it looks like they basically discount for additional setups. Usually it's the same amount, and this would have just gone to 2 instead of 1. So here we go. We've got these. They're good to go. We're going to hit create line items, continue. And in this case, I need to say blue, glass, black, and red, and print. That's going to show up for the customer, which is great. Click done. I need to get the shipping on there. I'm going to say add. And then we just saw it. It was just called ship, so we can type just ship. And that's going to come up. And I'm going to get rid of the miscellaneous, so it won't come up anymore. Shipping for glasses 1. Turn that off. It's going to be expensive. I'm going to say it's $195. All right, this is good to go. For the customer, we'll continue. We'll send the customer their invoice, all that good stuff. So now they've paid for it. It's ready to go. Let me make sure this is not on hold. It is not. Okay, so now it's time to purchase. So all you're going to do is within the order, you're going to click the purchasing tab. And now notice it's taken you to the purchasing module by order, looking at this order. Okay, so you've got these tabs here. If we had already purchased something, it would be here. Pulled is if it's something that we do have in inventory, like regular shirts, it would show up there. So we've got it automatically brought in the vendor codes. It created the vendors within our database as soon as we created these line items from Sage. So all you'll do here, you're in the Buy tab, is you're going to click Add down below. It's going to take the first vendor it comes across and all the line items that has that vendor in its line item and put it in a PO. So it's down there, and so we want to release it. We want to say, yes, that's what we want to do. So we're going to click the Release button, and it took those 3 line items out of here and threw them on that. It also, notice, it threw these over here in the Bulk tab, okay? So it now thinks that we've ordered this. So it's put it on a PO, but this PO hasn't gone anywhere yet. So now we're going to go into the PO. And here we go. So now one thing we need to do, since this is the first time, so obviously St. Regis Group was not in our database before. It came in with this item. You'll know that because it defaults the DOR for the terms. You can't change that here. You have to change it in the vendor's vendor file. So the first time you bring somebody in, you're going to click View to drill into the vendor file over here. Right now we're in the vendor tab. You'll go here, credit card. The other thing we need to do, and this is just a weird quirk of the system, is in order for it to email, it's the same thing with customers. You can't email direct to a customer. You have to email to a contact within the customer. That's why contacts are always important. Same thing for vendors. We're going to click contact. Actually, what we're going to do here is click this and copy it. Another glitch is when you view it here, it won't let you select it. So anyhow, we'll go to contact. We're going to add contact, and we're going to go to the email and drop that in. It's going to be easier if you put something here. So I'm just going to put orders. All right, that's who it's going to, orders, and that is where that's their email address that came in from Sage. So that's good. We're going to click done. Now I click done. I'm still in that vendors tab, so I just need to go back to purchasing is where we were, and we're back to that PO. Okay, notice that changed the credit card, so we're good there. And then we need to pick. It's only one. We pick now where it's going to. I think in this order, I don't have a contact loaded. Let me pause this. Okay, so all right, we got credit card in there. So then ship to. Now, if this is a test, and so this customer, I didn't have contact in there, I didn't have a email in there, or else it would have automatically generated that, and you could just click OK. If we were going to have these drops shipped to the customer, if it's coming to us or anywhere else, you can click Find. In the Us tab, we're the first one, obviously. We use MOP for a different reason. Or you can scroll through different customers if you wanted to. Or that's the customer there. That's one of their contacts. So we just want it to come to us, and the customer's going to pick up. So we'll just click that. Shipping method, I'm going to leave that blank and see how that goes. If you do shipping method, you got to actually pick an actual shipping method, which includes a carrier. Now, as far as I know, each factory has a set carrier that they use that's the best for them and the least expensive. So we want them to use whatever that is. And I'm afraid if we put one in here and they use UPS, then they're going to charge us more or something. So we'll just kind of leave that blank. If this is today's date. If there is a drop dead date, we can put that there, but we don't have to. So we've got all this in here. It says black imprint for this one. You can go to instructions and click that and put in more specific instructions if we need to, and that can show up on the invoice depending on the PO, depending on the PO we choose. All right, order details, just so you know, if you're ever in a PO, you're looking at a PO, you can click on the order details and it'll show you what's on it, but you can also do a quick view of the stats to tell you what order it's associated with, or you can click that and actually go into the order, in this case 2819. And so this is all good to go. We'll go to print. And if we're using instructions, in fact, we should probably just get in the habit of doing this. Let me click on this just to view it, so you know what the vendor's going to see when they open our PO. So this is what the PO is going to look like. And if I had put instructions, the instructions would show up a little bit smaller just underneath of the line item. On this PO. So that's what's going to be sent to the vendor. But what we want to do is email it. So we're just going to push over here, PO with instructions, email utility. 2 should show up here since we selected that contact. stock email. I think it's the last one. Vendor PO. There we go. And then we would just click send, and of course it's going to bring it up in the just like we do any other emails. And then from that point you would click attach from there. In fact, let's do this. So we did a stock email, send. This comes up, it has the email attached right now, but we want to attach the other email. Clicked it too many times. And so you would basically, you would have the art here, and you would attach the art to this. So this is ready to go, and I would send it. Back here, we're good. So I'll just click done. If we go back to the by order purchasing, it takes us right back where we were before. So this is now complete. And it knows that because when you go into the order and click the purchasing tab, you see that we've bought these. So now we still have this other one to go. So if we click add again, it's going to go to the next one, right? By the way, you see that check PO has been issued. Now that doesn't necessarily mean you emailed it, but it's saying it's been created and notated that it's been purchased. All right, so we're doing this other one. We're going to release just like before. Good to go. We're going to drill into it. Let's assume this is a new vendor. We're going to drill into the vendor, credit card, I need to grab this, copy, contacts, add, bam, orders, done. When I click done, I'm still sitting here in vendors, so I just go back to purchasing right where I was. I want it to come to me. I don't care about any of this. It's all defaulted. Good to go. Maybe I forgot to put red and black imprint, or maybe I want to say, PMS 352 red. I'm making this up. Whatever it is. And then I want to print it. I want PO with instructions, email, and I'm going to send it. Assume I sent it, and we're good. Now, if you go to this order, and you want to know what's going on, pull this order up, you can go to, actually, let's go to here. If you look at stats, purchase is yes. Now, if we had just done the one before we did the second PO, purchase would have been partial. It would have been yellow. So now the purchasing is yes, but the receive is no. And you can also go here, and we see that it's been purchased. And these are the two POs that it was purchased from. You go to receiving, they haven't been received yet. Now when these come in, you're going to receive. So you can either receive all, which is what we'll do most of the time because it's usually only one vendor. But in this case, let's see, we've got, I don't know why it comes in a different order, but let's say we want to receive the 440, the vendor 440. So it was the glasses and then the setups. So now those are received, and now the receive went from red to yellow partial, and then these came in the next day, and we received those, and now receive goes to green. We're good to go. Technically, we should go to ship and ship all, and to us in this case, it means it all went on the shelf. And then when they come to pick up, we're going to all, and mark as invoice, right? So that's it in the nutshell. So it's pretty simple. And then if we go back, all right, just realized something. I'm going to append this real quick, and then I'm going to do one from start to finish real quick, just so we kind of see the flow and how fast this will work. So one thing I realized is in projects, and I noticed that that's what Angie did, and it makes a lot more sense, is she's got a different project for each line item, which makes a whole lot more sense as we're tracking through here. So that's the way I would do it. And when you do have multiple line items or multiple items for one order, one customer. So I'm going to take you through one real fast. Brand new customer. They want this pin. I would, put at least their email and phone in there. So now at least I know I can start tracking that order. Oh, got my pen. Select the damn thing. Copy. I'm in the customer order line items. They want 400. Looks like there's no setup for this company, so that's not an option, which is fine. And they just do one color, which is all I want anyway. Again, no setup, but I do want to add my shipping. I looked that up on Sage, or I called the vendor and they told me it's going to be $42. Order's done. I sent it to the sent the estimate to the customer, and I went into projects, and the quote is done. They call me the next day. Quote is approved. They approved the artwork. That's good to go. Now I need to order this thing. I'm going to bring the order back up in Bizwit or in Shopworks. I got the order here. Now I'm going to go to the purchasing tab, and that's what I need to purchase. I'm going to click add, release, click on that. I see he wasn't in there before. It came up as DOR. I'm going to go change this to credit card. I'm going to grab that, copy it, add a contact, paste, orders, done. Go back here, which is where I was. This is going to come to us. Everything else is good. Just for shits and giggles, I'm going to go ahead and put something here. Now, I'm not going to put it in there because I don't want to bother showing it, but you can put something there. This is ready to go. Print. PO with instructions. I push it here. Email utility. It's going to the contact. I'm going to hit send. Again, it's going to come up. I'm going to hit attach again. I'm going to attach the artwork, and this is going to go. And then I'm immediately going to go right over here and say done. The purchase order was done. Maybe before the end of the day, I get an email acknowledgement back from the vendor, and I'm going to click this real quick and say order acknowledged. And then a week from now, it's going to come in, and I'm going to copy and paste the tracking number and say done, and we're good to go. Obviously back on the order, just showing that again. PO is done. If I go back to the order, or actually no, yeah, if we go back to the order here, we see it's purchased. We know that because it's green. But the next thing that'll happen within ShopWorks is somebody in receiving, whoever's bringing in, doing our receiving for the day, it's going to come in. They're going to say, okay, it's here, received. They're going to let whoever know that it's here so they can email the customer. And then they're going to put it on the shelf, which is the same as shipping. So they'll ship it all. And then when the customer comes up, again, just like anything else, it's all required, mark as invoiced, and this is done. So it's as simple as that. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.